Good afternoon. I am Jeremy Slotnick, principal here at Nashoba Valley Technical High School, and it is my pleasure to give you a warm welcome, honored guests, faculty, staff, families, and most important of all, class of 2020. At this time, I would ask that you please remain standing for the national anthem. If you could please face the flag on my right. At this time, we will observe a moment of silence in memory of our friends, classmates, and family that cannot be here with us today, as well as those around the world who have lost their lives to widespread disease. Thank you. Graduates, please be seated. At this time, I would like to recognize our honored guests and members of the school committee who are here to celebrate with us today. Seated behind me, we have school committee member from Westford, Mr. Ron Deshane. School committee member from Chelmsford, Ms. Claire Janot. School committee chairman from Littleton and a former Nashoba Tech graduate himself, Charlie Ellis. Our superintendent, Dr. Denise Pigeon. And our district business manager, Jean Savoy. And someone you've probably seen an awful lot of over the last 4 years, your shop teacher, Mr. Nathan Miharg. So as I'm sure everyone is aware, we are having a hybrid ceremony. This is obviously the live portion of the ceremony, but there is also an online virtual ceremony that I encourage you to take a look at some point today if you have not done so already. There are a number of speeches. One is by our superintendent, Dr. Pigeon. Also, school committee chair, Mr. Ellis, is our keynote speaker this year. He was actually part of the very first graduating class 50 years ago. So we thought that it made good sense for him to give the speech this year. In addition, your class valedictorian, Kaylee Walsh, is speaking, as is your salutatorian, Danielle Watman, and the senior class president, Abigail Cronin. In addition, the junior class president gives some thanks to you for your support as seniors who have helped her class throughout the 3 years that you've been in the school together. All of the speakers are eloquent and inspirational, so please take some time to listen to those speeches. They are featured on the Viking 360 YouTube channel that is run by the school, and if you go to that YouTube channel and type in graduation, it should bring you right to that ceremony. In addition, I sent a link yesterday, so you might be able to find it that way as well. So I have some words of my own for the graduates here today. Class of 2020, you are certainly experiencing unprecedented times with the current pandemic. With it, it has brought a whole new lexicon, phrases that were rarely heard before COVID-19, and to be honest, they are phrases I'd rather not hear again. One that comes to mind is out of an abundance of caution. As in, out of an abundance of caution, we will be closing the schools for the next 4 weeks. And then a few weeks after that, the Department of Education told us out of an abundance of caution, we would be closing schools for 8 weeks. And then eventually it became out of an abundance of caution, we will be closing schools for the rest of the year. Then it was out of an abundance of caution, we will limit gatherings to no more than 250 people, which was followed by out of an abundance of caution, we will limit gatherings to 50 people, and then eventually no more than 10 people. But to be honest, it has been important to proceed with an abundance of caution, and you, our graduates, have done that. You have shown empathy to others. You have thought of others before yourselves. Anyone who says teenagers are selfish need look no further than your class and your graduation to see just how compassionate you are. This disease, though dangerous and deadly, has wreaked most of its havoc on the sick and the elderly. But you students here have sacrificed and not complained about it. It is a part of your character, and luckily for the rest of us, who will be depending on you to take care of us and pretty much run the world in the future, it is a quality that you will continue to demonstrate. And that brings me to the second phrase that I could do without, the new normal. As in, not shaking hands is the new normal. Social distancing is the new normal. School and business conducted remotely is the new normal. These are changes you have had to incorporate into your lives very quickly. You completed your schooling virtually, got used to Zoom and Google Meets, participated and been honored at drive-by parades. You have shown flexibility, used new technologies, made school from home work for you. You've even made remote social events work on occasion. Now, some of these changes are only temporary, but some will be permanent. And as the years pass, there will be new challenges in your lives. Some will be large, some will be small. That much I can guarantee. But they are not something to fear. You've already demonstrated that you can be flexible, that you can overcome challenges. So in review, you have demonstrated an abundance of caution. You are kind and thoughtful, and your actions have shown it. Secondly, we are in the midst of a new normal, but you have been flexible, rolled with the punches, and you are stronger for it. Lastly, you should believe in yourself. Over the past 4 years, I've listened to each and every one of you, and it has made me a better person, and I thank you for that. You are bright, kind, talented young individuals, and the world needs to hear from you, and I thank you. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Nathan Meharg to the mic so that he can say a few words to his graduating seniors.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. There you all are. Hi, Elliot. It's been a while. We went from seeing each other almost every day, spending hours and hours of time together, to not. It just stopped. But now we're here again, except that you're all robed up and about to be out the door. I'm happy for you, all of you. And I'm proud of you, and I'm also very glad to see you. I know that Mr. Rochon really wishes he were here right now, but since he can't be, he's asked me to read you something. I'm very sorry I could not be here on this momentous occasion, but every one of you have reasons to celebrate this day. Each of you has grown these past 4 years into an amazing young adult. I am proud if I was a small stop on this journey you are taking. I know I walk away from this time together a better and stronger teacher because of you, and I hope you have learned from me as much as I have learned from you. If I were to leave you with my last 2 lessons or bits of advice, this is what they would be. First, you cannot succeed if you don't try. What I mean by this is seize every opportunity that comes your way. You do not know where or how this journey you are on will end up, and every opportunity is but a step up to the next experience. Second, everyone has good times and hard times. We all work through them, and working through them gives us the experience and tools to tackle the next one. No matter how hard it seems, you will get through it, and you will be stronger on the other side. Well, that is all I have, and you should celebrate this accomplishment for each of you who have worked hard to get to this point. I can never say it enough times, but I am so very proud of you. I have to agree with everything Mr. Rochon wrote. It's too often assumed that the teacher-student relationship is a one-way street. But over the course of 4 years, everybody grows, regardless of age. You have all played a big part in my growth these past years, and I greatly appreciate it. I sincerely hope that whatever growth of yours I may have played a part in is of value to you and helps you do and be what you want in the world. I also hope that you will remember these years of growth fondly, as I know I will. Although I really wish that we'd gotten to finish that mural. Working on that thing was a blast. So today marks the end of one stage of your growth. As you head on to the next stage, whatever that might look like for you, I hope that all of you will keep one thing in mind. In life, the greatest and most meaningful growth often occurs in response to challenge. Those times when something that's harder than what you're used to comes along and it requires you to grow, to overcome it. Over the past 4 years, I've watched all of you struggle with various challenges. Academic challenges, creative challenges, social challenges, personal challenges, and subtlest and greatest of all, the challenge of figuring out who you really are and how to live comfortably in the world as yourself. That one, by the way, may come back to haunt you from time to time as you get older. We live now in a time of challenges, challenges like we haven't seen in 50, 80, 100 years. Yet I'm incredibly optimistic because I've watched you all meet your challenges and overcome them. In part, you've all succeeded because each and every one of you have the most important tool for dealing with uncertainty and difficulty: imagination. Imagination is what lets you see what can be, not just what is. Imagination is what helps you solve problems that haven't been solved yet. Imagination is what allows you to chart your way forward when the road markers of the past have shrunken from view. Most importantly, in your imagination, things can always be better. And in that way, imagination can fortify you with hope. Hope that the thing you imagine can one day be real. And that hope can drive you to try and make it real. Imagination, hope, and striving. That's what I know all of you have. And while all of you are special and unique, I know that you are not alone in this way. Congratulations, everybody. You've earned this and everything that goes with it. Be well in all things for as long as you want them.
Thank you, Mr. Mihar. We are now ready to present our diplomas. Graduates, please stand. As I call your name, please make sure to walk forward to the end of the parking space in front of you before turning in towards the stairs to ensure social distancing throughout the ceremony. Thank you. Brandon John Boudreau. Brandon is an extraordinarily kind young man, and I gave students the opportunity to have me say a few words on their behalf, and he wanted me to name all of his teachers so he could say thank you to them, so I'm actually going to do that at this time. Mrs. Whitney, Mr. Story, Mr. Miharg, Mr. Rochon, Mrs. Butland, Mr. Massa, Mr. Phillips, Mr. Reynolds, Mrs. Harvey, Mrs. Monaco, Mrs. Lamar, Mr. Husby, Mr. Callahan, Mr. Barzaga, Mrs. Stack, Mrs. Hood, Mr. Scheminger, Mr. Ford, Mr. Sullivan, Mrs. Lamond, Mr. Spencer, Ms. Quinn, Mrs. Callahan, Mrs. Valhouli, and last but not least, Mr. Wood and Mr. Slotnick. So Brandon, I say thank you back to you. And Brandon was also awarded the Dean's Award, and it's an award that's given for kindness and for making the right choices throughout your high school career. So I just want to say that Brandon very much deserved that award this year. Kalandra Hunter Booten. Kalandra has earned the Dr. Judith L. Klimkowitz Award, which is given to students who show both technical and academic success. They are also a credit to the school and have helped us in our mission of encouraging students to attend Nashoba Tech. She also earned the President's Award of Academic Excellence and the Pepperell Business Association Scholarship. Her excellent MCAS scores also earned her the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship. She also was responsible for the design of our 50th anniversary logo, which you can see on the signs on the right and left, right over there. Michael Jason Owen Christie. Michael has served as layout editor for both the Tech Line and the school newspaper The Viking Voice during his high school career at Nashoba Tech. Caleb John Darling. Caleb has earned the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship for his excellent MCAS scores. Elliot James Gale. Elliot was awarded the U.S. Presidential Scholar in Career and Technical Education Award. Only 5 students, technical students in all of Massachusetts earned this award out of the many thousands. Elliot also earned the President's Award of Academic Excellence and the Friends of Nashoba Scholarship. Elliot is a member of the National Honor Society and the National Technical Honor Society. In addition, Elliot has earned the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship for his excellent MCAS scores. Jillian Lee Grady. Jillian earned the Vocational Technical Merit Award for her shop, which means she's shown the greatest growth from the start of shop until now. In addition, she earned the Community Service Award for participating in more than 200 hours of community service. She is also editor of this year's yearbook, which will be coming out in late July, we expect. Brianna Rousing Gadile. Brianna earned the Academic Award for Art as the most proficient art student in the senior class. In addition, During her career here, she worked on the Leading the Nation ad campaign for the Department of Education. She also earned first place for a poster from the Massachusetts Partners for Youth organization, and she earned a bronze medal at the Skills USA competition. Shanoa Ruth Kendall. Shanoa is a member of the Tri-M Music Honor Society. In addition, she worked on the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education ad campaign for Amazing Educators. Alyssa Rose Mayer. Alyssa earned the Vocational Technical Proficiency Award for Most Skilled Student in her shop. She also earned the President's Award of Academic Excellence and the Pepperell Lions Club Scholarship, as well as the John and Abigail Adams MCAS Scholarship for her excellent MCAS scores. She is also a yearbook co-editor. She designed an Easter egg that was featured at the White House. One was chosen from each of the 50 states to represent that state at the White House. In addition, she has earned a Skills USA gold medal. Graduates, I would now ask that you move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left to signify that you have completed your education here at Nashoba Valley Technical High School. On behalf of the faculty, the administration, your families, and all of our guests, I congratulate you, class of 2020 graduates. At this time, our ceremony is concluded. You may rejoin your family at their vehicles. Thank you.
Thank you.